First, I'll take you through the functionality of the mode button. When opening the gimbal, it will power on. When closing it, it will power down. But when the gimbal is open, it can be powered down manually by pressing and holding the mode button. Pressing and holding the mode button again will power the gimbal back on. If the gimbal ever falls asleep while it's open, press the mode button to wake it back up. The mode button's main function is to cycle between the different shooting modes. For our use, we will mainly be using the follow mode, which is the first mode by default. If you want to learn more about the other modes, watch the beginner tutorials on the homepage. One of the main features of the gimbal is the joystick. The joystick can be used to aim your phone camera and line up your shot for recording video or taking photos. There are several ways to zoom in and out after lining up your shot. The first is an on-screen slider. Slide right to zoom in, slide left to zoom out. You can also zoom using a pinch motion on screen. Drag open your fingers to zoom out. Pinch your fingers close to zoom in. The final way to zoom in is to use the wheel on the side of the gimbal. I suggest using this method as it is the most accurate. To zoom in, turn the wheel down. To zoom out, turn the wheel up. If the zoom wheel is unresponsive, click the zoom wheel as it is a toggle for zoom mode and manual focus mode. For our purpose, we won't be using the manual focus mode as certain phones are incompatible with that function. To use the autofocus, click on the object in your shot and your phone's camera will automatically focus on that object. The yellow reticle on your phone screen will indicate what your phone camera is currently focusing on. To switch to selfie cam, press the icon in the bottom right corner of the screen. By default, the selfie cam will automatically track you. It will follow your movements and is represented by a green rectangle. Press the button again to switch to your phone's main camera. You can also toggle the selfie cam by pressing the switch camera button on the gimbal. The gimbal can also be extended to be used as a selfie stick. To change the orientation of the phone camera, double-click the switch camera button. This will toggle portrait to landscape mode. The landscape or horizontal orientation is used for interviews and field trial footage. The portrait or vertical orientation is generally used for social media. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to use the vertical orientation, which is default. Select whether you want to shoot a video or take a photo by clicking on or drag selecting at the bottom of the screen. In video mode, press the red button to start recording. Press the red button again once you're done recording. In photo mode, the record button will turn white. Press the white button to take a photo. You can also record footage and take photos by pushing the red button located on the gimbal. Be sure to leave about 2 seconds of lead-in time after you click record, and 2 seconds of lead-out time before you finish recording. This is necessary for editing purposes. When using your phone's main camera, there are 2 ways to auto-track. First, we'll use the joystick to aim the reticle at your subject. Once the yellow reticle is over your subject, push the trigger at the front of the gimbal. Now press record. The tracked object will be highlighted by a green square. The gimbal will now aim the camera at the tracked object independently of your own movement. When you are finished with your shot, press record to stop recording. Then press the trigger a second time to stop auto-tracking. To manually select your subject, drag a box around your subject from the bottom right to the upper left and lift off of your phone screen. The green rectangle should snap to the object that you're trying to auto-track. Once your subject is tracked, press record and film your shot. When finished, stop recording and press the X in the upper right corner of the green rectangle. This will manually disable the auto-tracking. We can also record and auto-track by using hand gestures. This function works in either video or photo mode. First, we must enable hand gestures by pressing the hand icon at the bottom left of the screen. Click the toggle for gesture control. Below that, you'll notice 2 separate options. The first is follow and shoot. The second is shoot only. For this demonstration, I will show follow and shoot. Click the hand icon again to return back to shooting mode. Now that we've enabled gesture control, make sure that the camera is facing the general direction of where you're going to be filming. Stand in front of the camera and raise your hand with your palm facing the camera. Hold your hand up until the camera flashes. The camera will record and the gimbal will auto-track your movements. This mode is useful for shooting footage of yourself, like in presentations or demonstrations. Once you are finished, raise your hand again until the camera flashes. To review any of the footage or photos you've taken, press the playback button in the bottom left corner of the screen. This will take us to the file library. Here we can review our photos and footage. First, let's look at some photos by selecting the Photos section. Selecting a photo will give you a blown-up preview. Press the back button when finished. Now select the Video tab to see the footage that we have taken. Click on a file to preview it. Click the Play button to preview the footage. You can scrub the clip by dragging your finger along the timeline. When finished, press the back button. In the file library, you can also delete files. In order to delete a file, select it first. While in the preview menu, to delete a file, select the trash can icon in the bottom left corner. This will bring up a prompt asking if you want to delete the photo. For this example, I'll press delete, but be warned, this cannot be undone. When you are finished previewing your files, press back twice to return to filming mode.